What is going on, everybody? CJ here and welcome back to more Stalcraft. In this video, I'm going to talk about artifacts. Everything you need to know regarding artifacts in a quick and simple guide. I'm going to show you how to charge them up, how to find them, how to work on their potential, or in simple words, how to +5 them. So make sure you stick around. Alright, we're going to kick things off breaking down an artifact so you guys know exactly what to look for when you're checking out your own artifacts. There's a lot to talk about. I'm going to keep it brief, but do bear with me. First, we have the class. This determines what type of artifact it is, and it's going to let you know where to look for said artifacts. Up next, we have the rarity. You see how we have a little percentage next to the rarity? This is the percentage of effectiveness or how good an artifact can be. The higher the percentage, the better. This ties with the rarity. So a white or normal artifact can only go up to 99. If you have a 99 white artifact, that's a pretty damn good artifact. Green or unusual, in this case uncommon, can go up to 109. Blue or special can go up to 119. And purple or rare can go up to 129. There are going to be other rarities with upcoming updates, but as of the making of this video, we only have these 4. The next thing we want to talk about is the charge and max charge. The max charge is pretty much your fuel tank. How much energy can you hold? And your charge is how much energy you're currently holding. I will get more into this later on into the video, but I hope you understood what I tried to say. The properties are the properties that comes with said artifacts. And if you guys have a black crystal, you might notice that we have an extra property all the way at the bottom. So as you upgrade your crystal or your artifact, the properties will go up. When you +5 an artifact, you have a small chance of getting an additional property. A lot of my +5 artifacts don't have additional properties, but a lot of them do, like this here black crystal. One thing you gotta point out is that a lot of these artifacts have a positive and a negative effect. There are artifacts out there that only have positive effects, like the atom, but in this case, for the most part, a lot of artifacts will have a negative effect that you will have to work around to counter with a different artifact. This is endgame, and these are your builds. If you look at the bottom, you can kind of tell where these artifacts spawn, but you can always check your PDA for more information. This is as simple as I can break down an artifact, so let's move on to the next part of this video. Alright, the next part I want to talk about is when to get them, how to get them, and where to get them. The first one is quite simple, and it's just a tip of advice. The best time to get artifacts is right after an mission, whether it's a couple of minutes or 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Around that time is the best time to go out and hunt for artifacts. Where to get them? Anomalies for the most part. You can get them in other ways, but the main way to get artifacts is through anomalies. Different anomalies will spawn different types of artifacts. You can check your PDA for more information on what artifacts come from what anomalies and how. Quite simple, you gotta risk it. Go into some of these anomalies and get an artifact. You might want to use the Buriat artifact scanner. I have a video on that, so do be sure to check it out. The link will be in the description. It's gonna help you know where some of these artifacts are at. But basically, that is gonna be how to get them, where, and when. Alright, so let's run around and get us some artifacts. Now that we've gotten some artifacts, you want to make sure you go to the researcher in the base you're currently at. You will talk to him and you will be able to research your artifacts. Now, what is this going to do? It's going to give you the actual percentage that these are going to be able to have. I broke this down when I did the artifact review, and as you can see, all of them are not studied, so they don't have a max percentage. Let's take a look and see what we get. So as you can see right here, this horrible. This right here, it's alright. This horrible, horrible. This is just downright trash. This is pretty good. 79, pretty good. 104. You guys get the drift? Now let's move on to the next part of the video. Now that we know how to get artifacts, proto-artifacts, and anomalous dust, we're going to talk about the fission mechanic. This mechanic enables you to charge up your artifact It also allows you to +5 your artifact, working on their potential, so it's a very important thing you guys need to know. Quick tip, this is why I tell you guys on stream to save artifacts. You might want to sell some for money, and some you're going to want to use for the fission mechanic so you can get some energy. Now, let's see how you do this. You would come up here to the scientist, click on fission, and then you can select each item, as you can see right here, and turn it into energy. As you can see right here, we're getting more energy. You can also do this with the anomalous dust, and you can also do these with the proto artifacts, but I don't recommend you do that because you can use these for something else that I will explain later in the video. Nonetheless, I do have quite a lot, so let's turn these into energy as well. And as you can see right here, we're getting more and more energy, and this is going to enable us to talk about the next part of the video. Alright, now let's talk about charging up your artifact to increase its potential. In common words, let's talk about how to +5 your artifacts. As we saw earlier, by using the fission mechanic, you're going to be able to turn dust and other artifacts into energy, so you can do this. Now, when you're in here, there are several things you got to know. First off, there's a chance to increase the potential. So there's going to come a time when you guys will notice that this upgrade is not guaranteed, so you're going to need a lot of energy. The next thing I want you guys to pay attention to is the cost. This is our current available energy. This is the cost to try and upgrade the shard. Here we can see the attributes, so keep in mind how we upgrade the potential. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so from that 3 to 4, it was very, very rough. So there are several things I want to teach you guys right here. First off, as you can see, we ran out of energy. The cost has gone up from the initial cost, and the chance to increase the potential has also changed. Now, on top of that, every time you fail to actually upgrade your artifact maximum charge will drop. In order for you to bring your artifact max charge up again, you're going to need certain items, either the same artifact or proto artifacts. Those are right here. Now, since we're using an uncommon, we're gonna need uncommon proto artifacts in order to charge our artifact back up. Now, the charge is how long it's actually causing an effect on you. Once it runs out of charge, even if you have it in your backpack, you're not going to get the effect from your artifact. Meaning, you want to have as much charge as possible so your artifact's effects last for as long as possible. Once you've selected your proto artifact, you will recharge it just like this. You'll select it again, recharge, and the maximum charge is now back. You can recharge it. As you guys can see, I'm low on funds, but once it's max charged, you're good to go. Now, for the last part of this video, we're going to talk about making a build. I'm not going to go into detail as to how you should make a build or what artifacts you should use, but now that we've understood what an artifact is, how to get them, when to get them, the whole mechanic behind +5ing your artifact, charging them up, the way you work a build out is you want to make sure you have artifacts that give you positive effects, and you want to make sure that they counter the negative effects from your other artifacts. Depending on the container you use, the effectiveness will vary considering the inner protection and the effectiveness on itself, but this is basically how you go about building an actual build for endgame content. As you can see right here, with the artifacts we have on that are displayed right here, we have this much stamina, movement speed, carry weight, radiation resistance, bioinfection resistance, temperature, biological infection, and overall, this right here is what I use to explore the north. Can it be improved? 100%. But you guys get the drift. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.